Now on CoastTV News.
We're seeing a few showers this morning, then a yellow alert day for later today. For showers and storms, some could contain heavy rain and possibly damaging winds. I'll break down the impacts coming up.
One suspect named after a deadly shooting in Millsboro. What led to that one man's arrest? Protesters lined up in Lewis with people on both sides of the wind farm debate. What came out of a meeting on that project yesterday? And a battle over contraceptives. We have details of a bill that failed in the Senate yesterday and why some are calling it a political stunt.
This is CoastTV News Today.
It's Thursday, June 6, 2024. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us during our 5 o'clock hour. I'm Paige Marley. Well, you did just hear Bob say it is a yellow alert day, so not too much to worry about this morning, but we are looking towards this afternoon. So we're going to bring in Bob right now to help you prepare for the rest of your day. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Paige. Good morning, Delmarva. Yes, you want to be weather aware today. Make sure you have the Coast TV weather app because we could be looking at bumpy weather after about 4 or 5 o'clock. But right now we're in good shape. It's just really warm and muggy out there. A few sprinkles or light showers now going on near Sinnapunxet, back through Newark and down towards Chincoteague. Otherwise, just mostly cloudy. It's that air you can wear. And we're looking at a stronger front back to the west. This one will bring us those showers and storms as we go later on in the day. As far as temperatures right now, it is unbelievably mild into the mid 70s. If you don't have AC, you're certainly hurting for certain because it's not only warm, but it's muggy as well as we have the strong southwest wind. So a few showers this morning, otherwise mostly cloudy, breezy, and very warm today. By 10 a.m. already seeing some low 80s. We're into the mid 80s this afternoon with the humidity feeling like 90 degrees. Then we have to be on guard after about 5 o'clock for some big storms coming through, heavy rain, maybe damaging winds as well. I'll talk about this more in detail coming up, but your day part forecast is quiet until we get to about mid-afternoon. That's when we'll start to see that potential for those storms. Much more on the yellow alert day and a good-looking weekend forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. This morning, police are continuing to investigate a double homicide in Milford. According to police, this happened Wednesday morning. It was around 4:45 a.m. Officers were sent out to the 500 block of South DuPont Boulevard, and that's where they found a 31-year-old man bleeding from his head. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. But then the investigation led police to the Brookstone Trace development, and that's where officers say they found a 31-year-old woman and a 3-year-old child, both of them dead. Police say they do have a person of interest detained. Delaware State Police also say that they've identified 19-year-old Malachi Waters of Millsboro as the suspect of a murder of another man in Millsboro. It was just before 11 a.m. Tuesday. Police responded to a shooting in the area of St. Thomas Boulevard. We're showing you that area right now on your screen. Officers say they found a 26-year-old man shot, and he died later at the hospital. Now, after those shots were fired, DSP says Waters drove away from the scene. Shortly after that, troopers stopped the car in Delmarva, Maryland, and that's where Waters tried to run away, but he was quickly arrested. Waters must now be extradited back to Delaware. Then he'll be charged with first-degree murder, among other charges. Protesters for and against offshore wind lined up in Lewis yesterday. DNREC had an open house to learn about the permitting process for U.S. Wind's offshore wind project. But people outside, they already had their minds made up. We're going to show you what it looked like as people took a stand on both sides of the debate. Inside, however, there was information panels to explain each step of the permitting process. U.S. Wind needs DNREC to sign off on a few permits and a water quality certification. Some people giving the project the environmentally friendly green light, but others aren't so convinced.
So if we can produce the electricity we all need by means that don't pollute the world, like offshore wind or onshore wind or solar power, then we're going to be reducing all that global warming pollution and making a better world for everybody.
It's a swindle. There's a lot of dark backroom dealing where in Delaware, they met with a few of our mayors and agreed to give them $100,000 each year for the next 20 years.
And DNREC says all the public feedback that they're getting will go into a presentation at a public hearing for July 9th. But that comment period is open until September 9th. And there is another opportunity for you to state your opinions on the proposed wind farm permit in Maryland. The Department of the Environment and U.S. Wind will hold a meeting June 13th. It's about the air permit for the Maryland offshore wind project. This project will have 121 wind turbines and 4 substations located 10 miles off the coast of Worcester County. The meeting is at the Ocean City Convention Center, starting with an open house from 5:30 until 7. This brings us now to our Coast TV poll. We've been asking you, what's your main concern with wind farms? So 77% of you say your main concern is marine life. That's the obvious majority of those who voted on our poll. Next is 17% saying the visual impact. You don't like how it's going to look. 2% the noise levels, and 4% of you say you're worried about the fishing industry. Whatever your concern is, go ahead and vote. You can do that by going to coasttv.com/vote, scan that QR code on your screen, or of course you can always vote on our mobile app. Well, June is already here. It hasn't been here long, however, though, and it's already had its fair share of rough weather. Millions on the West Coast are going to literally be sweating it out due to a heat dome. Meanwhile, on the East Coast, severe storms brought havoc near the nation's capital. Excessive heat warnings are issued for more than 28 million residents of California, Arizona, Nevada, and Utah. Then on the other side of the nation, a tornado tore through Montgomery County, Maryland, near Washington, D.C. just last night. Severe damage was reported in Gaithersburg. This one hits a little close to me. Gaithersburg's where I'm from. Trees there crashed into several homes. Well, severe weather, like we just talked about, it turned deadly in other parts of the country Wednesday. Get this, a 2-year-old boy died. His mother was hospitalized and in critical condition after a tree crashed through the roof of their home. The storm uprooted a massive 4-trunk tree that fell through the bedroom onto a bed. It's where the mother and her baby were lying. It pinned them underneath. Authorities say crews worked tirelessly for over an hour trying to remove parts of the tree and lifting the tree with high-pressured airbags to extricate those victims. The intersection at Harbison Road, Chestnut Street, and Shingle Point Road in Milton is getting a safety upgrade. Since 2020, DelDOT says 9 accidents have happened right there. In order to encourage drivers now to slow down, increase visibility, and reduce the number of accidents, DelDOT will be adding an always stop and pavement markings. One local tells Coast TV that the project is probably only part of a solution.
Well, they can try the stop signs. Maybe that will help. But the first thing they got to do is slow them down. That will help everything.
And DelDOT says, weather permitting, the work will begin at that intersection June 12th at 9 a.m. World War II veterans celebrating today's 80th anniversary of D-Day. Events are being held across Normandy, France. Dozens of British and American veterans who were there during the D-Day operations gave speeches, laid wreaths, and listened to their national anthems. This year's celebrations are likely to actually be last marked on a grand scale in those presence of those who fought in 1944. About 200 veterans, most American and British, are expected to take part in that. Well, a Democratic-led bill that would have made access to contraception federally protected failed in the Senate. Republicans called the vote a political stunt ahead of the presidential election. They say access to contraception is already protected, but Democrats say that could always change later on. NBC's Alice Barr shows us the latest battle over women's reproductive rights.
With the issue of reproductive rights looming large this election year, Senate Republicans blocking Democratic-led legislation.
The motion is not agreed to.
That would have enshrined the right to access contraception nationwide. Democrats saying voters should know
who supports the freedom of every American to access contraception if and when they need it, and who plans to continue their right-wing attacks and exert further control over women's bodies.
Just 2 Republicans voted for the bill. Many slammed it as a political stunt, with birth control legal across the country.
They are fear-mongering in the name of politics.
Why do you need a law to address a problem that doesn't exist?
Democrats point to the Supreme Court's decision overturning federal abortion access, during which Justice Clarence Thomas called on his colleagues to reconsider their past ruling guaranteeing access to contraception.
I will not just sit around waiting for the day that this Supreme Court takes away another one of our rights.
Fights have flared over state laws, including access to in vitro fertilization. In a statement, President Biden accused Republicans of continuing to undermine access to reproductive health care, from abortion to contraception to in vitro fertilization. With polls showing many voters focused on inflation and immigration, Democrats seeking to elevate reproductive rights as a vital election issue. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And anti-abortion activists have called on lawmakers to take certain kinds of contraceptions, specifically IUDs, as something that can induce an abortion, and has led to a discussion about or proposed legislation in several states. We're just getting started this morning on Coast TV News Today. Still more to get to. Coming up, 2 dredging projects in Sussex County. We're telling you what areas will see environmental improvements. And sand dunes debate. There are areas where sand dunes are no more, and why some people in Bethany Beach say there was no right to remove them. And Boeing is back in court. We're telling you why Congress is calling on the flight company to testify now. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
The Rehoboth Beach Dewey Beach Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Center, in partnership with the Cape Gazette and RehobothFoodie.com, present Restaurant Week supports the Red, White, and Blue on the Culinary Coast, Sunday, June 2nd through Friday, June 7th. Diners can enjoy either menu discounts or prefix menus at restaurants in Rehoboth Beach, Dewey Beach, Lewis, and coastal Delaware. Contact the Chamber of Commerce for more information by calling 302-227-2233 or by visiting beach-fun.com.
Spring is hummingbird season, so to make that perfect nectar, you want to dissolve 1 part of sugar to 4 parts of water, no red dyes, and change that water every 2 to 3 days to keep the bacteria from growing. My Backyard in Ocean Pines carries all the products you need to keep your feathered friends healthy and safe. We also have a huge selection of quality hand-picked birdhouses, baths, seeds, unique gifts, and decor for expert and novice bird lovers alike. I can't wait to see you at My Backyard, where it's all about the birds and more.
Join Sussex Pride and Milton Theater in celebrating love, diversity, and inclusion at Milton Pride on Saturday, June 8th from 4 to 8 p.m. Hosted by the fabulous Magnolia Applebottom. Enjoy food trucks, explore unique vendors, and enjoy performances by the Rainbow Chorale of Delaware and more. Be part of Milton Pride on June 8th from 4 to 8 p.m. in downtown Milton, a celebration of unity in diversity. Sashay over to miltontheater.com for more information. Celebrate Pride, celebrate you.
America's favorite car show makes its Dover debut with cool cars, cool people, and good time. It's the first ever Good Guys First Grundy Insurance Mid-Atlantic National, and it's all happening this weekend at Dover Motor Speedway. Check out over 2,000 of the Northeast's baddest classics on display. And don't miss Good Guys CPP Autocross racing action, a tire smoke and burnout competition, Nitro Thunderfest, a huge swap meet and vendor midway, live music, and so much more. And it's all going down this weekend at Dover Motor Speedway. Get details at good-guys.com.
It is 5:12 on a mostly cloudy, very muggy Thursday morning. Here's our Irish Ice Cam and Lightship Oberfalls. You see the waves waving, the flags waving in the wind, I should say. 75 in Lewis, and we are looking at temperatures in the low to mid 70s, incredibly mild and very muggy as we have a southwest breeze as well. Looking at mostly cloudy skies, we've seen a few light showers out there this morning. Seeing some of those off of Chincoteague right now. Otherwise, just mostly cloudy skies. But the main event is a cold front back to our west. That brings storms later today into this evening. So heads up if you're headed to the golf course. I gave it the fair putt today. Warm and humid, very humid. Make sure you have a lot of water with you to stay hydrated. 86, and then watch for those dark skies later today with showers and storms.
Will do, Bob. Thank you so much. We're going to head to Ocean Pines now. There will be bridge repairs on Clubhouse Drive throughout all of this month. Town says repairs will impact roads and waterways, but drivers should be able to get in and out of the area. So expect some minor delays, however, these next 3 weeks and plan ahead. Starting next Wednesday, there's going to be some lane restrictions at Route 113 and Airport Road and Northeast 10th Street. This is all in Milford. The city says crews will be installing new crosswalks and upgrading traffic signals. This work is expected to last until mid-September. Congress wants to hear from Boeing. Outgoing CEO Dave Calhoun will be testifying before Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations later this month. This hearing comes after a whistleblower testified about quality control issues on Boeing's 787 Dreamliner and 777 production lines. He testified Boeing knowingly took shortcuts, skipped critical safety steps to reduce production delays. Boeing strongly denies these accusations, insisting its planes are safe. NVIDIA has surpassed Apple to become the second largest public company in the U.S. The AI chip maker's market capitalization rose to just over $3 trillion Wednesday, nudging past Apple's $2.99 trillion market cap. The company is just behind Microsoft's market cap now of $3.15 trillion. NVIDIA's stock is up 147% so far this year after soaring 239% just last year. And for comparison, Apple shares, they've gained almost 2% year to date. Well, still ahead this morning, a sand dunes debate. Why some people in Bethany Beach are mourning sand dunes that once stood and how long they say it could take for that area to be restored.
We're seeing breezy conditions out on the beach, or at least close to it, on our camera in Ocean City right now, and we're looking at a few showers now, but a yellow alert day for storms later today and this evening could produce heavy rain and damaging winds. I'll break down the impacts coming up after the break.
Today at 4 on Coast Life, celebrate World Ocean Day with fun activities and stewardship. Plus, a sneak peek into a game night benefiting a great cause. And on Spill the Tea, a family babysitting dilemma. Today at 4 on Coast TV.
When you're at the beach, the priority is having fun with your family. And when you got a full house, let us handle the food and bring Bethany Blues to you. From our award-winning barbecue to specialty dishes and family-style options, we have something special for your group. Let Bethany Blues bring the good times home to you.
Your getaway starts where it all began, Pennsylvania. A place with 1,000 experiences that'll have you coming back for seconds. And they're just down the road. See the Big Bell right beside bigger battlefields? Go around the next bend and you'll find world-class cuisine, Great Lakes, and Grand Canyons. Small towns with big reputations and whitewater right next to calming waters. Come visit Pennsylvania, the great American getaway.
When choosing a granite countertop, choose one for real life and beauty. No matter what life throws at them, they'll look beautiful forever. Ancient Art Stone invites you to discover the affordability of granite and upgrade your home to the beautiful works of art from Ancient Art Stone. Centrally located in Milford, Delaware, serving all of Delmarva to make your dreams a reality. Visit us and allow our devoted professionals to craft, fabricate, and install a superior finished product that will transform your home into a work of art.
Hey moms, you know those unforgettable face palms? Those moments that leave us both laughing and sighing. They're not just mishaps, there are shared stories. Share your unique mom moments with us. Go to coastlife.com/mom. The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
It's now 5:17 on your Thursday morning. Let's take a live look right now at Ocean City and see what's going on there. A little windy, Bob, but you did warn us about that. It looks a little spooky there in OC, doesn't it?
It does, Paige, and we are looking at that potential for severe weather as we go into later today. You had mentioned earlier that you had tornado warnings in and around your neck of the woods last night. I don't think we're looking at tornadoes as we go into this evening. That said, anytime you have a cold front bumping into a lot of warm, steamy air, we could be looking at the possibility of severe weather. Make sure you scan the QR code right there, and that will get you to the Coast TV weather app. You can track those big storms later today on that app. And we are at a level 1, so that means a marginal risk of seeing severe weather. You can see the area shaded in green all across Delmarva. This is for later this afternoon and this evening. Let's break down the impacts. A low chance of tornadoes, but not a zero chance. It looks like a high chance of heavy rain. We've got a lot of juice in the atmosphere. It's not going to take much for these storms to trigger that heavy rain, so we could see some local flooding, especially in poor drainage areas. Wind damage is possible. There's a moderate risk of that. Could see winds in excess of 50 miles per hour, especially if these storms turn into a line of storms as we go through time, and then a lower chance of large hail. So be vigilant later this afternoon into this evening. Temperatures out the door this morning, very mild into the mid-70s. 69 Ocean City, 75 Bethany Beach, 75 in Rehoboth, Milford right now at 75. And we've got a southwesterly breeze that's just bringing in all that humidity. And we've had a few showers this morning. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, some light showers offshore right now, a few to the north, but looks like some heavier activity north of a warm front south of Long Island. But I'm watching this cold front back to the west. You could already see the showers lining up through Pennsylvania into Kentucky. And with the heating of the day, we'll see those firing up. And then once we get past this system, smooth sailing Friday into the weekend. Here's Futurecast this morning. Breezy and mild temperatures in the 70s. Then we're into the low 80s early afternoon, mid 80s mid-afternoon with that sunshine. So we're firing up the atmosphere and we're getting the atmosphere primed for these storms that move in this evening with the heavy rain, maybe damaging winds, and they could bow out a little bit, these storms, leading to some wind damage as we go into this evening. Then they move offshore around 8 o'clock and we'll start to dry things out as we go into your Friday, beginning the day in the 60s and then winding up in the low to mid 80s later in the day, a much nicer day with a northwesterly flow. And here is our expected rainfall, about a quarter to about a half an inch of rain. And by the way, this afternoon, take care out there, stay hydrated because feels like temperatures will be into the lower 90s for inland areas. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 86 today, heads up for the severe weather this evening, 84 on Friday, then low to mid 80s into the weekend. We do keep it pretty dry, and then Monday and Tuesday right around 80 degrees. Looks like our next chance for rain comes on Wednesday. Our umbrella winner today, good timing, Scott Pauley from Milton has a new umbrella from Paul Davis and CoastTV.
Yeah, perfect timing, Bob. Thank you. Well, up and down the coast, you'll see grassy dunes, just like what we're showing you. But in one specific section along Bethany Beach, the dune is just gone, turned into flat sand. One local believes someone actually hired a contractor to clear out the dunes behind their house so that they could get a better view of the beach. But the land they cleared doesn't belong to them. The land belongs to the Homeowners Association. And for the HOA to make any changes to the dunes, they need the okay from DNREC, which didn't happen. People who have lived there say the dunes there are so important.
It helps stop the sand from blowing, catches it. You know, the higher the better, obviously, the bushes and all, and protects the houses and the streets from the sand.
Now, although repairs are underway to bring the grass dunes back, locals say it will take years for it to look like how it once was. Still ahead on Coast TV News today, we're talking dredging projects underway in Sussex County. What areas are currently being worked on and which areas will see work in the next coming months?
In our coastal communities, every wave has a tale. Coast TV brings these stories home, from the smallest shell in Ocean City to the lighthouse in Lewis. What happens here matters. Every moment, every detail is a chapter in our shared story. We're your neighbors, your friends, woven into the very sands of our community. Our stories are your stories, reflecting the heart and soul of our coastal life. Coast TV, our community, your news, where every story hits close to home. Coast TV, winner of AP's Outstanding News Operation.
As I get older, I was getting a little off balance. Got recommendations for baths by Bicep Brothers. I love my shower. It's perfect for me. My favorite part was probably how quick and easy it was. They came in the morning and they were done by afternoon. I definitely wanted the grab bars. They also put the seat in, which was very nice. The wand is good, especially if you're sitting. So much safer to get in and out of now. It seems like my showers are quicker that way. So it's perfect.
Helping people is why I became an attorney. I'm Kelly Geloff of the Law Offices of Tunnel and Razor, and I handle personal injury cases. When I meet with clients, they're usually in pain due to their injuries and overwhelmed by their situation. They come to me because they need someone to help. As your attorney, I will strive to have you feel less stressed and be the voice you need to get you the compensation you deserve. And you'll have me and my entire staff to help you through the legal process. Trust us to be your voice.
Success isn't just about money, it's about finding your purpose, building something you're passionate about, empowering people, and creating joy for others. We serve happiness, and great success is built on great relationships. That's why 15 years ago, I partnered with County Bank. County Bank believed in my vision. They helped me expand my business to new heights. Their commitment to personalized service, innovative solutions, and strong community ties makes County Bank the perfect partner for my journey to success.
Where legendary locals bank. County Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Amber Brazier. Welcome to Brazier's Carpet Care. Drop off your rugs today or have us pick them up and let our state-of-the-art cleaning plant do the rest. Many methods are used to clean rugs, from air dusting to remove fine soil to soaking in our whirlpool. Hand-knotted rugs are carefully washed, rinsed with cold water and wrung out, followed by a trip through the centrifuge before entering our controlled temperature drying room. We also repair all types of rugs from braided to hand-knotted. Quality cleaning by people who care. That's Brazier's Carpet Care.
This summer, 2 big dredging projects will be taking place in southern Delaware. According to DNREC, the Aswolman Canal will be seeing work until August 1st. And starting July 1st, dredging will also begin near Millsboro in the Indian River. These projects are helping clear the waterways and improve the environment. But if you're boating in these areas, be extra careful. Watch out for signs of ongoing work, as there might be some delays. South Bethany is preparing for its seasonal canal cleaning. The town will talk about putting together a plan at an upcoming meeting next Tuesday. They'll also provide a report on the latest water quality monitoring. All of this is happening June 11th at 10 a.m. Today, Assateague Island in National Seashores is celebrating after rescuing a turtle Wednesday. We're going to show you that on your screen right now. You can see the turtle there with workers at the National Aquarium Stranding Response. According to the organization, the loggerhead turtle was found to be struggling. It will be assessed before heading to long-term rehab. All right, we're going to show you Smoke now. That's Smoke. That's his name. The Ocean City Police Department says this canine is recovering after suffering an injury on duty, but you can't keep that good dog down. To help cover Smoke's surgery costs, the Maryland Police Canine Foundation is raising money. There is a celebration planned for Smoke this Saturday. OCPD says King's Barbecue will be rolling Smoke around 10 a.m. until they sell out in Harbor Freight in Berlin. All right, wishing you the best, Smoke. Beavers, bison, and bears, oh my, you can support species like these at the Salisbury Zoo's upcoming event. The 70th anniversary gala is this Saturday, June 8th. The zoo will be closed that day, but the gala will run from 5 to 9. Organizers say you can learn about future projects in the works at the zoo and attend a ribbon cutting for a new eagle exhibit. Don't want to miss that. Exciting. Well, the good news is we should have good weather for that, but Bob, we were talking about other parts of Maryland saw tornadoes yesterday. We were saying that's where my family lives. Thankfully, so far, all we know is it left some debris. But also, thankfully, nothing like that really expected closer to our coast.
True, Paige. I did see some of those warnings last night around the Baltimore area, and they did have some damage close to where you lived, as you had mentioned. I'm not looking at that today, but that said, we are looking at some bigger storms this afternoon. Along the beaches, have fun. We're looking at temperatures in the 80s, Ocean City and Fenwick Island. Then after about 4 o'clock, those storms roll in, and they could pack a punch for sure this evening with damaging winds and very heavy rain and vivid lightning. And Lewis, mid-80s today, late-day storms, and Rehoboth, the same for you. Some of those storms later on. And Cambridge on the bay side, 1 to 2 foot waves on the bay as you're in the 80s with storms. And Crisfield also low to mid 80s. So make sure you have the CoastTV weather app later today. And then things quiet down into the weekend. I'll have more in your forecast coming up in a couple minutes.
Thanks so much, Bob. Also coming up, the Trump RICO trial in Georgia takes a pace. We'll tell you why appeals court is preventing that case from now moving forward. And the Hunter Biden trial continues in Delaware. We're telling you what came out of his 3rd day in court on Wednesday. And protests, both supporting and opposing offshore wind, came side by side at an open house in Lewis. We'll show you what the project is proposing and opinions on both sides. CoastTV News Today will be right back.
Help the cancer support community of Delaware with the Wings of Hope butterfly release Saturday, June 22nd at the Milton Memorial Park, starting at 9 a.m. Show your support for those who have been touched by cancer. Enjoy this family-friendly and rain or shine event with lots of kids' activities full of inspiration and ends with the release of hundreds of butterflies. Pre-purchase your live butterflies now for release. For more information, visit cancersupportdelaware.org.
At Baths by Spicer Brothers, we understand that safety is important when it comes to your shower. Our design experts prioritize your safety without compromising on style or comfort. Equipped with features like sturdy seats, strategically placed grab bars, non-slip floors with low thresholds for easy access, and adjustable shower wands. Right now, we're offering a complimentary customized safety upgrade with factory-certified 5-star installation guaranteed. Plus, take advantage of no interest and no payments until 2026. Baths by Spicer Brothers, because you deserve the best.
Homewell's mission is to bring joy, companionship, and a helping hand into the lives of those we serve. Become a Homewell hero today.
I'm a Homewell hero because I transform routine care into meaningful connections.
Offering full benefits, weekly pay, holiday pay, and PTO.
As a Homewell hero, I'm rewarded for my hard work. Our mentor program gives you help on the job, teaching you to be a problem solver.
Join us at homewellcares.com and be the hero that someone needs today.
The most incredible shopping on the beach, Blooming Boutique. Fashion, jewelry, and accessories as cool as an ocean breeze. You'll love this place. We put a smile on your face. You'll love this place. It's Blooming Boutique. Fashion, jewelry, accessories, and fun. Blooming Boutique.
Visit Blooming Boutique with 4 convenient locations, 2 in downtown Lewis, Long Neck, and Milford.
Now on CoastTV News.
We're seeing a few showers this morning with a yellow alert for later today with showers and storms that could pack a punch with heavy rain and possibly damaging winds. I'll break down the impacts coming up.
Yesterday saw protests over the proposed wind farm project when you have another opportunity to share your opinions. And another court day in the books for Hunter Biden. What's next in the gun trial of the president's son? Trump trial turbulence as that one trial is ending, another one paused. We're going to tell you why.
This is CoastTV News Today.
It's 5:30. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us as we continue this morning. I'm Paige Marley. If you haven't heard yet, it is a yellow alert day. So just a heads up this morning, looking fine. This afternoon, not so fine. So to break it down, we have first alert meteorologist Bob Trahy. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Paige. Good morning, Delmarva. We call it a yellow alert day because we're expecting at least a ½ an inch of rain, about a ½ inch to an inch, maybe more if these storms produce a lot of rain. The air is very juicy, and we could be looking at damaging winds later on as well. Right now, just some run-of-the-mill showers, mostly cloudy skies. Had some of those showers off of Chincoteague earlier. It's just mild and muggy as a warm front is lifted north, but we're seeing more showers across the Ohio Valley with a strong cold front, and that will kick off those storms later today. And it is incredibly warm out the door this morning. Temperatures in the mid-70s, just feeling like that area you can wear with the southwest wind. So some showers this morning, otherwise mostly cloudy, breezy, and mild today. We're already in the low 80s late morning and into the afternoon. We're into the low to mid 80s with the humidity feeling like around 90 by mid-afternoon. So take it slow, find some air conditioning, and also stay hydrated with water. Then speaking of water, we'll see those big storms rolling through as we go through this evening. Heavy rain, maybe damaging winds. UV index for today, it's a little lower because of the cloud cover. It's a 6, burn time 25 minutes. So take care with that. And then we're into the very high range Friday into the weekend. So follow the following steps to stay safe in the sun.
We will, Bob. Thank you so much. This morning, police continue to investigate a double homicide in Milford. According to police, this happened Wednesday morning around 4:45 a.m. Officers were sent to the 500 block of South DuPont Boulevard, where they found a 31-year-old man bleeding from his head. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. That investigation then led police to the Brookstone Trace development, and that's where officers say they found a 31-year-old woman and a 3-year-old child, both of them dead. Police say they do have one person of interest detained. Some signs of change, winds of change, protesters projecting the pros and the cons of offshore wind power. Demonstrators lined the entryways to Wednesday night's offshore wind open house in Lewis. DNREC's goal was for people to go inside to learn about the permitting process for U.S. Wind's offshore project. But as CoastTV's Mallory Metzner shows us, people outside already had their minds made up.
People raise their hands in favor and in opposition to offshore wind.
It's very disturbing.
U.S. Wind wants to build an offshore wind energy project off the coast of Maryland. Maria McCutcheon is worried about the big buried cables that would connect the turbines to the land.
This place is a nature preserve, and they're going to sit, they bring on board, it's called sitting, the massive cables from these turbine fields through and dig a 40-foot trench.
Wind power export cables would run under the Atlantic Ocean and state-regulated wetlands. The cables would land at 3 R's Beach, which is managed by DNREC, and ultimately run to the Indian River Power Plant. Right now, U.S. Wind needs 3 permit approvals and 1 water quality certification from 2 of DNREC's divisions. And then later this year, the secretary of DNREC will make a decision. Competing posters outside of Beacon Middle School lead to these panels inside that explain each step of the permitting process that DNREC is involved with.
And importantly, they have an opportunity to connect directly with our subject matter experts and ask them questions.
Some are already giving the project the environmentally friendly green light.
Offshore wind is one of our best resources to help cut down on the air pollution coming in from the west and also create more energy independence.
It's a great place to go fishing. All the fish like to hang out where there's a pylon or an artificial reef.
But others, like McCutcheon, will be heartbroken.
My parents' ashes were scattered at 3 R's.
If the wind project doesn't die down. Mallory Metzner, Coast TV News.
And DNREC says all the public feedback that they're getting will go into the presentation at a public hearing July 9th. The comment period is open until September 9th. And there's another opportunity for you to share your opinion on the proposed wind farm permit in Maryland. The Department of the Environment and U.S. Wind will hold a meeting June 13th about the air permit for the Maryland offshore wind project. This project will have 121 wind turbines and 4 substations located 10 miles off the coast of Worcester County. This meeting is at the Ocean City Convention Center. It starts with an open house from 5:30 to 7. This morning, 26-year-old Tyja Best of Ellendale is facing charges after police say they arrested her following a shooting that happened Saturday night. It was on June 1st, just before 11 p.m. Troopers were called to a home on South Old State Road. That's where they arrived. They found 27-year-old Brian Halliday with a gunshot wound to the chest in the front yard. Despite troopers trying to save his life, he did later die. Police say Halliday and Best got into a fight before she shot him. According to police, she's now facing first-degree murder, among other charges. The Millsboro police need your help identifying a man that we're going to show you right there on your screen. He's a suspect in a theft at Harbor Freight. Allegedly, the theft happened Tuesday. Police want to question this man. So if you have any information on who this is, please contact the Millsboro Police Department. World War II veterans celebrating today's 80th anniversary of D-Day. Events are being held across Normandy, France. Dozens of British and American veterans who took part in the D-Day operations gave speeches, have laid wreaths, and listened to their national anthems. This year's celebration is likely to be the last marked on a grand scale in those presence of those who fought in 1944. About 200 veterans, most American and British, are expected to take part. Hunter Biden's third day of court now in the books. The prosecution noted that it is possible they will rest their case today, but prosecution says they have 6 witnesses remaining. And based on the information, Hunter Biden's attorney says that the first witness for the defense could come Friday morning. Biden's facing 3 charges tied to the possession of a gun while using narcotics, but he has pled not guilty. Former President Donald Trump's election interference case in Georgia is hitting a bit of a snag. A Georgia appeals court halted the case against Trump and several co-defendants while it reviews the lower court's ruling allowing Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis to remain on the case. The order issued prevents Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee from moving forward with a pretrial motion while the appeal is pending. A Fulton County grand jury indicted Trump and 18 of others of participating in a scheme to overturn the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. We still have more news to get to this morning, so don't go anywhere. Still coming up, Maryland gambling garners thousands for small and minority businesses. We're telling you what officials are saying about how May 2024 compares to May of last year. And on the diamond, the Phillies look to bring out the brooms on the Milwaukee Brewers. We're showing you that and a look at tonight's episode of Into the Trenches. Stay with us here on Coast TV News Today.
Beneath your feet lies a hidden terror. Moisture and humidity turning your crawl space into a breeding ground for mold and rot. But fear not, DryTech is here to help. Just call our office and request a prompt appointment. Our engineers are not salespeople. They assess your crawl space, photograph it, prescribe a custom solution, and send you your personalized estimate the next business day. Guaranteed. And right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 24 months. DryTech, Delmarva's original crawl space experts.
Today at 4 on Coast Life, celebrate World Ocean Day with fun activities and stewardship. Plus, a sneak peek into a game night benefiting a great cause. And on Spill the Tea, a family babysitting dilemma. Today at 4 on Coast TV.
Hey fellas, when your lady says she wants a big rock for Christmas, she may not mean this kind. She may want this kind.
At That Granite Place, we like to say our reputation is carved in stone. And it is. Now we're changing our name to Coastal Countertops. Same local ownership, keeping the same level of quality and service everyone has grown to love. We've also upgraded our machinery to help you with turnaround times. At Coastal Countertops, our reputation will continue to be carved in stone.
This summer, Lewis is your go-to destination for live music. Rocking the Docks brings you the best tunes from soulful sounds to classic vibes. There's something for everyone. Plus, enjoy food trucks and explore our vendor market at every show. Don't miss out on beautiful sunsets and great tunes. And don't forget to bring the whole family. Kids 12 and under are free. Rocking the Docks, your summer soundtrack. Tickets on sale now at rockingthedockslewis.com.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, the lovely Shay Mitchell.
I created my perfect job, getting to travel the world and drink.
Plus, fill in the blank with Cher.
I feel the sexiest when I'm in love.
Thursday at 2 on CoastTV.
The sun is rising right now, 5:40 on this Thursday morning. Not seeing it, however, but some breaks in the clouds. Hershey exteriors, Cam 74, breezy out there, definitely choppy. And look at these temperatures, 74, 75 degrees. This is a very mild start. And at least we've got a bit of a breeze, but it's a very muggy breeze with mostly cloudy skies. We had some showers earlier on, but mainly dry now. But the main event is farther back to our west with the cold front. That brings the potential for damaging winds and large hail, possibly, and very heavy rain. So if you're on the golf course, keep an eye to the sky after about 3 o'clock. We're looking at warm and humid conditions and scattered showers and storms late. Stay hydrated with water, a high of 86.
Next week, DNREC will present a free lecture to homeowners on living shorelines in Delaware. Living shorelines are a type of green infrastructure that uses natural materials like native plants and oyster shells as a barrier against shoreline erosion, like what we're showing you on your screen. This presentation is happening June 13th at the South Coastal Library in Bethany Beach. It starts at 2, and DNREC says the lecture will have insights into how to enhance the natural beauty of a property. If you live in Lewis, something for you to make note of. The Lewis Water Department will be conducting hydration flow tests. It's next Wednesday from 8 to noon. During this time, you may experience low water pressure or discolored water for up to 24 hours. If you do, all you have to do, run your water on cold for about 10 to 15 minutes, wait until it clears. It's also recommended that you don't do any laundry during the testing hours. In Salisbury, the Route 50 drawbridge will be seeing some traffic disruptions until the end of June. It's due to some repairs. According to the city, there's going to be single lanes daily between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
It's time to head to the Diamond as the Phillies look to sweep the Milwaukee Brewers. It's their final series before heading to London later this week. Fifth inning, all zeros on the scoreboard, but Nick Castellanos changes that, flips it over the 374 sign and left. His 8th of the year. Phillies lead 2-0. Seventh inning, same score, runner at third for the Brewers. A shot to third. Alec Boehm comes home, gets the out at the plate. Check out Garrett Stubbs, the catcher, blocking the plate, applying the tag. A fantastic defensive play, rewarding the pitcher Nola, who went 7 shutout innings, allowing just 2 hits, 5 Ks. Top 9, Phillies still lead by 2. Jose Alvarado in to close it out, strikes out Christian Yelich swinging, and then sends Willie Adames back to the dugout with strike 3. Phillies win it 2-0 and complete the sweep. We now look ahead to tonight's episode of Into the Trenches, the Wildcat Legacy. It's rivalry week for Delmar, and the Cats travel up to Laurel to take on the Bulldogs in an historic matchup.
Over the weekend, you've got the rivalry between Delmar and Laurel.
It seems like that game, the intensity level is different.
It's just like a big game. I almost feel like a state championship just playing that game, you know. We got to watch them take our trophy away from them and just watch it.
We have had 3 of the most stressful weeks I've ever been around a football team in my life. You can do it right off the bat. Come on.
Into the Trenches, Thursday at 7:30 on DSN.
That'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
Some movie news now. Here's David Daniel with your Hollywood Minute.
School! This is so cool, Frankie!
Who can tell me what the greatest threat to monsterkind is?
Humans.
Monster High is headed to theaters. The toy line about the children of famous monsters, which inspired animated and live-action small-screen films, will be reinvented for the big screen. Oscar winner Akiva Goldsman will produce the film. Mattel had a fairly big hit last year with a toy-turned-movie, Barbie.
There's only 2 ways out of the killer's game, Joseph. You walk away clean, or you go out on your back.
I need a contract executed.
Who do you want retired?
Me.
Dave Bautista is an assassin looking to be assassinated until he's not in the first trailer for The Killer's Game. Sofia Boutella, Terry Crews, Pom Klementieff, and Sir Ben Kingsley co-star in the action thriller. The Game begins in theaters on September 13th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
It's the air you can wear this morning. Very muggy out there. Mostly cloudy on our Tidal Health Cam in Salisbury. 74 degrees. A very warm and muggy day. And stormy later on with the yellow alert. Could see some heavy rain and maybe some damaging winds. So take it easy, and I'll have the precautions and the impacts coming up in about 2 minutes in your full forecast. Stay tuned.
NBC Nightly News, weeknights at 6:30 on Coast TV.
When I decided to have my kitchen done, I knew I wanted it done professionally, and that's when I contacted Ellen. She took me to the Delmarva Design Center.
From the moment I bring a customer into Delmarva Design Center, the ideas start to flow. First thing we do is take a stroll around the showroom so we can look at all the different vignettes to get ideas of what they like and see what they react to.
For each of the different aspects that I wanted to change in my kitchen, there were experts here, and everyone was so helpful. They listened to what I had to say, and they had great ideas that helped me put together exactly what I wanted for my kitchen.
My goal is to have the customer enjoy their space as quickly as possible, and Delmarva Design Center helps me do that.
My kitchen is one of my favorite places now. It's something that I use every single day of my life. I'm elated with my experience at the Delmarva Design Center.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Have you ever needed some help with selection and design layout in your renovated tile bathroom project, kitchen backsplash, or any other tile project? You don't have to go across the bridge. The professionals at East Coast Tile and Flooring offer the largest selection to assist architects, designers, and homeowners on any size project in all price ranges. East Coast Tile and Flooring has the quality, knowledge, and expertise you need. Call East Coast Tile and Flooring today for a design consultation.
Join Sussex Pride and Milton Theater in celebrating love, diversity, and inclusion at Milton Pride on Saturday, June 8th from 4 to 8 p.m. Hosted by the fabulous Magnolia Applebottom. Enjoy food trucks, explore unique vendors, and enjoy performances by the Rainbow Chorale of Delaware and more. Be part of Milton Pride on June 8th from 4 to 8 p.m. in downtown Milton, a celebration of unity in diversity. Sashay over to miltontheater.com for more information. Celebrate Pride, celebrate you.
Time is now 5:46 on your Thursday. We are going to take a live look now at Ocean City. Last time we checked in, looked a little spooky there. Still, you can tell the wind is maybe picking up with how fast that water is moving, Bob, but it's looking a little better.
Seeing some whitecaps out there,
Yeah.
Paige. It is breezy this morning, but it is mild and it is muggy. We're getting the atmosphere kind of fired up ahead of this cold front that will bring storms later on today. Make sure you scan the QR code right there. That will get you to the Coast TV weather app. Lots of great information and interactive radar, important tool to have later today as we're tracking the possibility of severe weather. We have a level 1 risk of seeing severe weather as we go through the afternoon into this evening, so you can see the green shading all across Delmarva. Let's break down the impacts. Anytime we have a cold front and a lot of juice in the atmosphere, there's always a chance of tornadoes. We had tornadoes around the Baltimore area last night, but there's a low chance of tornadoes. But just keep an eye to the sky and be ready to take shelter. Heavy rain, a high impact there. The air is very juicy, and we could see some flooding, especially in poor drainage areas. Wind damage, that's a moderate risk, okay? So make sure all those lawn ornaments and furniture and everything is either brought inside or fastened down outside later today. And there's a low chance of hail, but definitely we could see that, but a better chance of wind. But very mild out the door right now. Temperatures in the mid-70s, and there are those gusty winds out of the southwest, sustained 15 to 20 miles per hour at the beaches, kicking up the water as we have mostly cloudy skies. And we've seen a few showers earlier on with a warm front lifting to the north, but the main event is farther to the west, that cold front with the showers across the Ohio Valley. And then behind this, we're drying it out Friday into the weekend. Here's Futurecast this morning. It's breezy, it's mild, 70s, and then already 80s late morning, and then noon we're into the low to mid 80s with some sunshine, and that will only energize the atmosphere more. As we go into the afternoon, mid to upper 80s inland areas with the humidity, feeling like 90 degrees, a little cooler at the beaches. And then here comes the cold front with the heavier rain as we go into, say, 6 o'clock. heavy rain, maybe the damaging winds in excess of 50 miles per hour, especially if we get a line or a linear form of these storms moving through as we go through the evening hours. Then by about 8 o'clock, the storms are moving offshore, and then we quiet things down through the overnight, mostly clear skies by Friday morning, lows into the 60s, and then Friday, a much nicer day, mostly sunny skies and highs into the low to mid 80s and a little cooler into tomorrow night. As far as rain goes, a quarter to about a half an inch, maybe a little more, maybe some of those damaging winds too, and those feels like temperatures into the lower 90s this afternoon. But we do dry it out Friday. I think we're quiet into Saturday, and it looks like a little system tries to move in on Sunday with some showers, but right now I'm optimistic on keeping it dry. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast. Keep an eye to the sky. Be weather aware later today. 86 with that yellow alert with the storms. 84 Friday. Low to mid 80s into the weekend. Maybe a shower Sunday, but I left it out for now. A better chance of showers by next Wednesday with 70s and low 80s into that time period.
Happy we have a good weekend, Bob. Thank you. The deadline to register to vote in Fenwick Island's upcoming election is approaching, so here are some details to keep in mind. The deadline to register to vote is July 3rd. To vote in the election, you have to be a U.S. citizen and be a property owner since March 1st. You can simply stop into Town Hall and pick up a voter registration form to fill out. The election will be held August 3rd. You can vote from 1 to 5 at Town Hall. In South Bethany, there's one open volunteer position to serve on the Planning Commission. The position's for 2 years, and the volunteer helps with participating in studies and reporting on findings. If you're interested, all you need to do is fill out a committee participation form. Council will pick someone on June 14th. Maryland's 6 casinos combined to generate over $173 million in revenue from slot machines and table games during May 2024. It's the 9th best single-month total in the history of the state's casino program, and it's an increase of 2.2% compared to May of last year. Contributions to the Education Trust Fund saw a 4.2% increase compared to May of 2023, and gaming revenues also support their community, Maryland's horse racing industry, and small minority and women-owned businesses. Coming up on Coast TV News today, the truth about human trafficking, how one woman is speaking out, showing the real face of human sex trafficking and dispelling the myths.
And looking at our camera in Lewis right now, our Iris Eyes cam, light chip overfalls. We've got breezy conditions. It's muggy out there, and we have those storms moving in tonight with wind and rain. Then the weekend's looking pretty good. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up after the break. Stay tuned.
Coverage on the road, in your community, along the coast. The IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep, live on the street, day or night. From breaking news to weather in your town, the IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep. Coverage you can count on.
From empty nester to first home, Accessible Home Builders does it all.
It was great working with Scott at Accessible Builders. He called us every Monday and asked us to come over to the house at each step of the way during the construction of our home.
It was pretty unique working with Scott because not only is he the owner, but he was working in here hands-on with his employees and really just trying to make our vision come to life.
Design your dream home with Accessible Home Builders.
Did you know there's more than one way to sell your home? If you can wait and want top dollar, use a real estate agent. But if you have tight deadlines, need fast cash, or just want to walk away, you might consider a professional home buyer. In less than 30 days, without making any repairs, waiting on buyer financing, or endless negotiations, your home could be sold. Delmarva Dave is here to help. For more information about Delmarva Dave, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
Join us for a life-saving event at the Blood Bank of Delmarva in Salisbury on June 29th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Give the gift of life by donating blood. Your donation can make a world of difference to those in need, and you'll be helping to save lives right here in our community. Bring your friends and family and be a part of something truly special. Remember, every drop counts and every donor matters. Together, let's make a positive impact on our community. Coast Country Cares, sponsored by Spicer Brothers.
As I get older, I was getting a little off balance. Got recommendations for baths by Spicer Brothers. I love my shower. It's perfect for me. My favorite part was probably how quick and easy it was. They came in the morning and they were done by afternoon. I definitely wanted the grab bars. They also put the seat in, which was very nice. The wand is good, especially if you're sitting. So much safer to get in and out of now. It seems like my showers are quicker that way. So it's perfect.
Weather shapes our lives. At Coast TV, First Alert Weather means we are always at work, ensuring you have the information you need. Weather coverage that prioritizes you. Coast TV First Alert Weather. Your safety, our commitment.
Human sex trafficking, it's not just a crime in third world countries. Experts say it's a problem that's happening in communities all across the country. It's a problem that's actually hidden in plain sight. Now Alexa Lorenzo shows us how one survivor is speaking out, revealing the myths that surround human trafficking.
What do you think a human trafficking victim looks like?
Kim Balu wants the world to know that the poor, abused, lonely teenager you may picture in your mind is not the only child falling victim to sex trafficking.
I was in a very strict religious family. My stepdad was an elder in our church and also sold liquor for a living. He is who trafficked me, and he passed me off to men in the back rooms of liquor stores and bars.
The abuse began when Kim was 11.
I can just say there was hundreds of men that this happened with, being taken to have 2 abortions. And my stepdad would say, like, this is just normal dad-daughter things. I didn't know I was trafficked until 7 years ago. So that's how much of a myth is around human trafficking.
Now it's her mission to dispel the myths surrounding sex trafficking. First, it doesn't just happen to children who are kidnapped. Many survivors were trafficked by family, even spouses. Also, it can happen to any child from any background, and it can and is happening in your hometown. Kim is now working to help medical professionals identify and help victims.
One thing that I learned that she shares is that she would not have disclosed at the time it was happening.
Kim also discusses triggers, simple things such as hospital gowns that leave victims feeling vulnerable. Pediatric nurse practitioner Angela Brown says her facility is now offering scrubs for victims.
It's easy if you try.
Kim found her voice at church as part of the choir and is now a spiritual leader in the congregation, hoping that sharing her story will save others.
I can't even believe that I'm here, but it's also really healing, and I get to be here and stand in my power and also empower others.
I'm Alexa Lorenzo reporting.
Now it is now 5:56 this morning. We're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day. And today on your screen, our coastal pet is Cooper Blue. Cooper is a Bernedoodle. He loves Christmas, even though we're still months away. I feel you, Cooper Blue. Oh my gosh. Cooper was submitted to us by Holly in Milford. We want to see all your pets on Delmarva, so don't forget to keep sending us photos. Scan that QR code right there on your screen. And as always, watch weekdays from 5 to 7 to see the pets that we feature. It's now 5:57. We're going to take a quick look at your forecast before you head out your door. Bob, I'm in the Christmas spirit now, actually. Is it a little early? I'm feeling it.
I think so, especially if it's going to feel like 90 degrees later today. It might be a little tough to get into the feel of the season for sure. But it is going to be a mild and muggy one page and maybe a little bumpy later on with storms. Day part forecast, we're in the 70s this morning and then we're into the mid 80s this afternoon, but with the humidity feeling like lower 90s, and then really be weather aware about 3 o'clock on for those showers and storms. Some of those really packing a punch this evening with damaging winds and heavy rain. Otherwise, Paul Davis 10-day forecast. Friday good, 84, sunshine Saturday 82, 84 Sunday, maybe a few showers, but I'm being optimistic and keeping it dry. And then next week, typical summer-like weather, looks like another shower chance by Wednesday.
Coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, wind protests blowing up along our coast. We're showing you those both for and against a proposed offshore wind project.